Hi guys, Mitch King with Trade Stocks America with the Wednesday morning, March 2nd, 2011 daily stock report. Here's the Dow 30, down 1.4%. Let's take a close-up on this. We got some jitters on oil and all the reports and articles about how fuel is going to not allow our economy to recover and on and on and on. We got that from Bernanke and himself saying that extended periods of high oil prices will hurt the economic recovery. So that pretty much put cold water on that rebound that was starting the last couple days. Probably have a little more downside at the opening. My guess is that that 12,000 number will hold. Here's also a close-up of the Nasdaq Composite, down 1.6%. So it erased over 2 days of gains going back to 3 days ago when we got that bottom and then that rebound after that. But my guess again is that we'll probably hold this 2,700 level on the Nasdaq Composite. Same thing as 1,200 on the Dow. And the S&P 500 down 1.6%. Russell 2000 down 2%. So big moves today on the indexes. And you know I have to show you that volatility index just to teach you how this works. Up 14.5%. The market goes down. This goes up. A CMG down 1.6%. Looking for this 240 area, 235 to hold. Just a fall through on Netflix. Lower low today was down to just over $200. Clearly a new low, not a good sign for it. Don't see any indicators starting to point up yet. I think it's probably going to move up here, maybe after another day or two down. So keep watching that for a potential swing trade on the long side. VQ up 1%, giving it a couple more days, see how this acts. And you might start considering selling out of it. Not much profit into it. I think we're up $1, maybe 5-6% on it. And here's CIT. Went to high today, 44.32. Started to move. I just thought we'd give it a little more time, but I'd be kind of quick on the sell button if it breaks down. CF erased yesterday's gain and most of the day before, down 3%. This is one that we mentioned on the video. This is one I mentioned on the video that you start looking around to reduce some of these. At least that's the chart pattern I like to start watching to close those, because you got that quick V pattern. If you got that instability, this oil is going to be a problem. I think this oil is going to be hanging around the market's neck. MDRX did the same thing. It bounced off that 1950, got to almost 2150, which is a nice little move. That's 10%er, and then it's selling down. I think it's going down to 20. NTAP down 2%. Looking for $50 to hold. If it goes underneath that 50 very much, you should be stopped out. MGIC's in trouble, down 7.7%. Should be stopped out on this one. I like to have a 5 to a 7% trailing stop on these. Rovi down 2.4%. This looks like it's heading down a little more tomorrow, so watch out for this one. Down 4.5% for Blue Coat. Another stock should be stopped out. You don't want to be losing when you're up that much on a stock. So Blue Coat was along at a little over 26, 27, and now we're dropped below that at the close. This was around 28.50, I believe, yesterday at the high. So you got to kind of pay attention to what's happening in the market for you short-term traders on the swing trades. And we were looking for a nice rebound. But the effect of this Gaddafi, he's really digging in his heels, and he's going to be a little harder to get out of there than that Egyptian president Mubarak. Here's Baidu, also down 2.75. No continuation. The market gap down. Not a lot you can do when it just opens down, except let your stops trigger. And like I've said many times before, when you get opportunities like this and you get that $5, $6, $7 like on this one, you want to try to be a little more nimble and watch for these markets to fall apart, because remember, it was a pretty hard down period before that, and then you had a weak rebound for 2, 3, 4 days, and then we got that Bernanke spouting off on the oil. Here's Sina, still going up. That's a pretty good sign considering all these other stocks fell apart off of that chart pattern. Keep an eye on this one. My guess is that the market turns around, maybe attempts a rebound tomorrow afternoon, and this could move up. But keep a stop loss on these. I'm just following through with Western Digital, down 3.8%. Did not make a new low, but this is going to be a pretty darn good bounce at some point, and my guess is it'll be within a week. We're going to see another good long entry. Tell me you sold IN, went straight down Opened at 11 and a quarter, turned over, volumes dropped off. I still think it'll probably hold that bottom it made a few days ago though. Okay, this one is in the danger zone where it could make a new low. You should definitely be stopped if it goes to a new low. Then that day, a few days ago, right there. If it goes below that, you should be triggering off a sell order. JBL's turning over. I'd close that one. Only encouraging stock today was IPXL up 3.5%. So when the market turns around, this one's going to move. I'd be looking for 23 on this one if we can get this market to turn around. SWC down 1%. I'd be closing that one. Danger for CLD went to a higher high and then turned over. Here's AXTI semiconductor. Remember this stock was at 12 bucks, came down to 7, started rebounding, and we went long. So you should be stopped out of this one. It went over that 7% stop loss. Besides, it went under $7 today, which is kind of an important number. First Solar did fairly well. Went to 145, bounced up 5 bucks. But I think it's probably ready to start rebounding for a long swing trade. IDCC would be dangerous if it goes to a new low. And it looks like it just did that today at 45.77. For sure goes below 45. This is a harder chart to read. It could easily go to 42, 43. Auto part wholesaler went to the low of a couple days ago. So if it goes down to that 23 level, you should be seeing sayonara. And look at it again for a potential long on most of these stocks are going to be good ideas when the market turns around. Now normally when Bernanke says something like that, it might last another day. It obviously did quite a bit of damage today, and I think this has got a good chance to rebound. So you guys know the routine. You take care, and we'll talk to you